Hi, I'm Neil of Team Teacher, teaching, living and raising a family in China. In this video, we're looking at top rental websites for China. Let's check it out. So renting an apartment in China can be difficult, especially for a foreigner with little to no Chinese language skill. Generally what we've done is that we find our apartments through friends or through other trusted sources, like our company might recommend an agent or something like that. However, if you're outside of China and you're trying to find a place, it's going to be very difficult. One thing you can do is use an array of Chinese rental agency websites and classified type websites that you can go and look at apartment rentals. There are lots of expat websites, but the apartment rentals that get put on there generally are quite inflated and are on the higher end of apartment rentals. So you're best looking on Chinese sites. However, you do have to know a bit of Chinese because they're all in Chinese, or you've got to work your way around Google Translate and be able to translate using Chrome and that automatic feature, which is what we've done in the past. What we generally do is, if we're moving to a new area, we'll go on a couple of these different websites and we'll just have a look at the sort of standard of apartments that you'll find in that area, the general price, and then we've got an idea of sort of where to go to actually get an apartment, and we'll go and visit that area and then make a decision from there. So we kind of use these rental websites as a starting off point on our journey to getting a good apartment without being ripped off. One thing that you have to remember though is, if you are wanting to actually try and get a rental place through one of these websites, you will be paying a rental agency fee generally on top of, because you won't be dealing with the actual person directly. It is in most of the cases, and also the pictures that they put up there often are to attract people's attention and might not be the same apartment. So there can be a lot of bait and switch. Let's have a look at a couple of these different websites and we can you can take it from there. Let's check it out. So Andrew.com is an online platform for renting apartments, houses, and selling or buying apartments, houses in China. As you can see, the whole website is in Chinese. They have an app for iPhone and Android, but again, that's all in Chinese as well. So if you're not too good with your Chinese, or you don't have someone that can help you navigate the site, then what I suggest you do, what I do, is go to Google and use Google Chrome, which has an automatic translation feature, and then I can use that to translate moderately well from Chinese into English, and then I can kind of navigate the website from there. So what I do with this is I'm not going to be buying or selling a house in China, so I focus solely on renting a house. What you can do is you can either search for an area, so you've got all the Chinese here, and you see it takes a couple of moments and then the Google translates it. So you can do the searching by an area, so you can choose the areas of different cities. We're in Shenzhen, so I could choose Futian, for example, and then choose all the different types. Do I want to rent a bedroom or a full apartment, how much, etc. And I can scroll down through the pictures, or I can go back to that option and I can choose to rent not by search but by going into a map. So I can look at the map of my area and see all the different lines for the subway, because I'll probably want a bedroom or an apartment near a subway station, and all the different areas, and I can match it up with, you know, wherever I'm working. So I really suggest you try and find somewhere close to your work to actually live. But let's go back to search, and we'll have a look through a couple of different places. So say that I want to be in Futian and I want to go in this Fumin building. On the top right, you can see the agent that's dealing with this particular rental. And then you've got some pictures that you can scroll through, sort of see what the apartment's like. And this one's one room, and it gives you the price. And also different options that you might also like. And it's got a little helpful map. And it also includes all the different rents for that sort of area, what do you expect to pay, more similar listings, and generally details about the house, what it includes, what's the size, does it include washing machine, bed, etc. Now from here, what I generally tend to do is, if there's a place that I like, I'll either screenshot this so I can show it to someone in person. That's normally they have like some Anjuk agents close by, and I can just send it to my phone, and normally it'll come up with my WeChat, and I'll scan with that. But you know, contacting through here, generally you're going to be using Chinese, and mine's not so great, so I won't actually, you know, do it via the phone so much. I'll just try and find a person that can help me, and we can take it from there of how we're going to communicate. Z-Room is an apartment rental agency where they basically buy up a bunch of apartments, and they either rent out the rooms or their apartments to people. Kind of think of it as like a cross between hostels and Airbnb, but for long-term rentals. Now right now I'm on their website, and as you can see, it's all in Chinese, and yes, if you don't know Chinese, that can be difficult. So what I'm going to do first off is tell you kind of how I sort of navigate this. If you look, this is the home page, but if you go to the top corner, there's a little drop down, and you can select the city here. Yeah, it's all in Chinese characters, but if you have a look at the bottom left corner, you'll see that there's actually English initials before the name. So for example, it says here SHZ room, so that's Shanghai. SZ is Shenzhen, for, you know, so you can kind of work it out from there. And so if I click on that, it brings me to Shenzhen, so it will give me listings all for Shenzhen, etc. And I can even just click on the search bar without putting anything in, and then it's going to give me more details for me to actually go and search for these different rooms or apartments that I want to look for. And this is actually in Shenzhen. But generally how I navigate this sort of stuff is I use Google Chrome, which has an inbuilt translator that you can select. I'll pull this up. So this one, you know, it will translate the website page for you. Obviously, if you're going to actually try and book something with Z-Room, you're going to have to transfer back into Chinese, but I'll explain how you sort of go about getting bookings later. Now, let's first have a look at the search. So you can search by the different regions of the place, the different districts, if it's close to a subway line, by price and rental, by how many people you're going to be living with in this apartment, the size, and other different things like having separate balconies, a smart lock so you don't have to have a key, etc. So let's just have a look at one of these. Let's look at this room for rent here. So this one is in a 4-bedroom apartment, and it tells you that they do these tests. So All these apartments are very clean. Generally, because they're owned by the agency, they are refurbished so that they have all new furnishings, and they're all tested for cleanliness and other things of that nature. And they've got new products inside, new amenities, etc. And one of the things with this is it will tell you how many people are actually already in there as well, and how long they're going to be in there for. Along with the photographs, you'll also see that there will be generally some video tours of these different rooms in the apartments. Now, with your room, you'll generally get a bed and maybe a bathroom. It will depend. Sometimes you have to share the bathroom. Often they have their own little sinks or something like that. And with the room, that's basically what you get. You get a lock for your room. Sometimes it's a smart lock. And then you share the lounge and you share the kitchen. And you often have to pay for the TV. The Wi-Fi as well will be included in a service fee. And remember, the Wi-Fi is per the building, so the quality can vary. You don't really have that much of a choice on that. And also they have a cleaning service. They'll have a maid that will come to the apartments maybe twice a week. But again, that's something that you'll have to pay for. One of the great things about the Z Room though is that you'll get a FAPI out if you request it, and it's pretty easy because the apartments are owned by Z Room and they all pay taxes, so it's very straightforward for them to get that, rather than an independent owner that's subletting that maybe not letting the government know. The rentals here have different lengths, so you can go with monthly, quarterly, 6 months, or a year. The prices change. We advise to do like as long a rental as you can, because you'll definitely get cheaper fees, and it just makes sense that way. You'll be able to pay by Union Pay, often by WeChat Pay, but you can set them up with the actual whoever is going to be your agent that's controlling this particular apartment. And there's no agency fee. Just like I said, there'll be a 1 month deposit plus any sort of service fees for the maid, and maybe heating if you're in a colder area. They also have these, in some of the larger cities, their own building blocks for Z Room, and these tend to be ultra modern and to a very high standard. They've got like 24-hour security. They have on-site professional repairers and some very good customer service there as well. And let's have a look at the Shenzhen one. And this one, they actually have lots of shared rooms. So big shared kitchen with they'll have multiple units to cook with. They'll have a gym that you can all share, and they'll have these leisure rooms. They'll have ping pong tables and stuff like that, and you can rent those out so you can have little parties with your friends. And these, like I said, are super modern, and generally they're a little pricier than the regular apartments, because this is part of a specialized building. But these are sort of their higher end quality ones. Z Room has this website that you can go through, and it's good to browse, especially with Google Translate, and it's easier. But they also have an app as well that you can use and download, and it makes it easier to search with your GPS for the different areas. What you'll have to do to actually try and get an apartment, I'd suggest, rather than actually using the website or calling them, normally they have like these Z Room agencies that you can walk into these shops, and they'll try and accommodate you with your English, and they'll normally have some rep that you can contact, and they'll sort of help you navigate through the contract. Lianjia is one of the most prominent real estate and rental agencies in China, and you'll see a lot of their offices around Lianjia with the green sign. They're the ones with a big green sign. They also have a website, lianjia.com. It is all in Chinese, as you can expect, but it's pretty well laid out and quite easy to navigate. They also have an app as well that's for iPhone and Android, but again, that's all in Chinese. If you know Chinese, then you'll be able to navigate the site pretty well. But what I do is I've got Google Chrome, and that's got an automatic translate feature, and that's what I use. So I'm not going to be looking to buy a house in China, either a new house or a second-hand house. So I have used Lianjia before solely for renting. You can do an option where you search for rentals. It's the third option across, and what I would do is I would have the Chinese characters or even the English, because it does translate from Pinyin to Chinese, to search for the area that I want to find an apartment. So this one I'm looking at Longgang in Shenzhen on line 3, and all the apartments in that area, and you can select by the rent, if it's 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, etc. And then you can kind of scroll through and have a look at the pictures and kind of get a general idea of how much something will cost to rent the whole apartment, and also what's included in there as well. Now from here, you can actually use the app, and you can use the website to contact the brokers that are dealing with this particular property. But it can be difficult. I don't really know Chinese, so I actually prefer to do it in person. So what I'll do is I'll probably go to that area, and I'll take some screenshots of the particular rental that I'm looking at, and I'll show it to them, and hopefully someone in that office speaks English, or there's going to be someone there that can ask for someone to be sent over that can speak English, or will both navigate awkward interactions with our translators on our phones. But this is just one way that you can use to rent property in China, and it's a website that you can easily navigate with Google Chrome. .com is China's equivalent, basically, of Craigslist. It's a classified site, and it's all in Chinese. First off, you're going to have to choose your city or province. It is all in Chinese, so you need to know your characters. I'm going for Shenzhen, and this is the classified page. It's basically everything that you would get with classifieds, jobs, apartment rentals, second-hand sales, that sort of thing. It is all in Chinese, so you're going to need to know a little bit of Chinese. One thing that you can do is, if you look at the titles, if you hover the actual cursor over in the bottom left corner where it's got the address, you can actually see it does have some English in the actual address. So this says Shenzhen 58 house, so that's going to be for rentals. The next header along says 58.com/sales, so those will be for sales. The next one along, the third one across, is going to be for jobs. So you can navigate it all in Chinese, and using sort of like the bottom left hand corner, but again, some are going to be in Pinyin. So if you're not good with Chinese, what I'd suggest, and what I tend to do, is I tend to use Google Chrome, and with Google Chrome, I've actually got an auto translate feature on there. So it'll translate the best that Google can do from Chinese characters to English. And then you're going to have to navigate it through there. So there's actually 3 parts that I want to generally look at. I want to look at the classifieds for renting, for second-hand sales, and for jobs. Now, let's first go into the renting an apartment or renting a room. First, let's look at renting. So you can rent an apartment, you can rent a room, you can do it long term, you can do it short term. There's lots of different options, and it's just like renting through a classified in every place that you go. You can choose by district, amount, price range. You can choose if it's rooms, whole rental, room rental, whatever, and they'll always have pictures and more details. So let's have a look at this one here. So this one's just renting a room, and it will give you all the sort of details, but remember it is being translated, so some might be a bit off with the translation, so you have to kind of use a few of your detective and common sense skills to kind of work it out. And one thing that I want you to remember as well is here there will be option to choose between renting between a personal landlord or between an agent. Now, one of the issues with this is classifieds. Anyone can put theirs up there. You'll often get agents posing as a personal listing, and they'll put up pictures, and you think, oh, this place is actually really nice looking. Well, they'll often, I hear of bait and switch. So they'll say, oh, that place is not available, but this place looks similar, and they'll take you around to a few different places and kind of, you know, try and work you as an agent. So it can be difficult, but it's a way that you can actually often talk with the actual direct landlord. What you do from here is you would need to create an account, because you can actually call them or send them a message. Normally I've created an account with my WeChat login, and then you can just send them a message. Don't expect them to speak English. Make sure you can you've got a translator if you need to call them, a Chinese friend or someone that's good with the Chinese. But remember, WeChat does have quite a decent translation in there, and often, you know, people feel quite favorable towards foreigners, as we've got a general good reputation for being clean. So that's renting.